Are you curious about what it's actually like to work as a big law firm associate in New York City? If so, you are in the right place. And in this video here, I gave my first reactions to Netflix's Partner Track series, but there are just so many great gems in these episodes to really dig into and kind of highlight the experiences that are real that you can actually expect and the ones that are completely made up. So let's dive in.
There's Marty Adler.
And half the management committee.
It's hard to carry this firm on my shoulders, guys.
Looks like Marty's rain dance paid off.
Marty's not a rainmaker, he's a kingmaker. Whoever gets on his deal wins the golden ticket.
They're still promoting everyone who's tracking, right?
What do you have to worry about, Mr. Gretchen Landris?
So what they're talking about in this clip is whether all of the associates who are on track to make partner are actually going to make partner. And the short answer is no, not all associates who are eligible for partner are going to actually make it. And what's really screwed up about this process in reality is kind of what's reflected here in that there's not a lot of visibility into who's going to make partner until you actually make it or not. And so that builds up a lot of resentment among the associates, because if you're not really being told through the years, your 8 years, 10 years of being an associate, whether you're on track or what you need to do better or sort of what your chances are or how to improve those chances, once you get to that partnership vote or that partnership decision and you don't make it, it really feels like you've kind of been hoodwinked these last 8 to 10 years into billing a ton of hours and working really hard and being really loyal to a firm that doesn't then promote you. And so there is a real problem of transparency in the actual process of becoming partner. And a lot of associates aren't told whether that is likely for them or not until 6 months, 12 months before that actual partnership vote.
Get your feet off the goddamn desk. This woman graduated #2 in her class at Harvard Law while your ass was probably flunking Colgate. Show some freaking respect.
I wanted to include this clip because even just hearing it triggers something inside of me, and specifically about Ingrid being #2 at her class at Harvard. And so what this sort of brings to mind for me is just this a really intense inferiority complex that I had working in a big law firm in New York City, coming from a non-T14 law school. And I just assumed off the bat that if you had graduated from a T14 or a T10 or a T5 law school, you were inherently better. You were a better writer, you were a better oral advocate, you were just an overall smarter, more accomplished lawyer. And so although you can of course never generalize about any group of people and their abilities, I just want you guys to know that in my personal experience, working with associates and working for partners who came from those top law schools, I was overall way less impressed with them than I was with people graduating from non-T14 law schools. And I have a theory about why this is. So the people, the associates and the partners coming from these higher ranked law schools, I assume that that process, once they got in, from the start of law school to getting this job, was just a lot easier for them. I assumed that they didn't have to work as hard. I assumed that they could coast and that it just wasn't that challenging to get where they were. And so they got used to kind of throwing in the towel and giving a B- effort, whereas the associates and the partners who came from lower ranked law schools and kind of no-name law schools really had to work hard to make a name for themselves and make themselves stand out and maybe just inherently feel sort of worthy of this role. And so it would always be really funny when I got staffed on cases to see where these people went to law school, because generally speaking, the best writers, the best oral advocates, the best strategists came from these lower ranked law schools. So I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you also have this imposter syndrome inferiority complex that I had when I started out as an associate.
Seriously, Ingrid, life is not just about making partner. You've got to get out there and live a little. I will. After I make junior partner. Speaking of, I've got the department meeting. Good luck with you-know-who. And I don't mean Marty Adler.
Life is not just about making partner. This is possibly simultaneously the most accurate advice and also the most ignored advice that a big law associate could possibly get. Because if you are someone who is drawn to working as an associate in a big law firm, you are generally going to be driven and ambitious and some version of a workaholic and really, really focused on your career. And so, yeah, even though we know that there are different aspects to life that we should be balancing, it's really hard not to have one of your singular focus be that potential for partnership. And so one of the things that I think is helpful to keep in mind if being a partner is something you think you might want to do is the understanding that once you make partner, it doesn't magically get easier. It's not like this finish line that you cross and then you can take a breath. In fact, of the associates that I know who have made partner, across the board, people have said that it is actually more work because simultaneously you are being expected to bill hours like you are an associate, and you now have this additional expectation of starting to develop these client relationships so you can eventually bring in business to the law firm.
I'm a first year here at Parsons. I am really excited to be here. May I ask you a question?
Don't ask permission to ask a question. Just ask a question.
Of course. So, in intellectual property law, we studied the Lexi and Huntsman case. And well, how you handled the patent issues was brilliant. And I was just...
Stop talking. Sanders, right? No one's buying your wide-eyed ingenue act. It's manipulative and a cliche. And stop laughing. It's making me mad. Laughter is a coward's expression of fear. Bye. You know, I've asked them to move this paragraph 3 times. I don't want to...
They really should go over Marty Adler in orientation.
Read your audience, pal.
This clip is so cringy to watch, but it's not inaccurate. There, of course, are hundreds and thousands of law firm partners out there, and everybody has different personality types. But there are a lot of partners out there who are and even the ones who aren't are going to be busy and stressed and have a lot of demands on their time. And so kind of coming up in the middle of a workday to strike up a conversation or ask a general question is not really going to be received very well. And so no matter how often or how much a law firm touts open door policies and asking a lot of questions, there are definitely strategies for how to go about asking questions and when, and you never want to just walk up to a partner or into a partner's office and start chatting. And so one of the things that my dad actually taught me years ago, and he's an engineer in the oil industry, and so not at all associated with law firms and lawyers, but one of the things that he noticed sort of in corporate America was this concept of be brief, be brilliant, be gone. So get me the information I need as quickly and to the point as you possibly can, and then get out. And the same is true for law firms. As a young associate, the most valuable you can be and the biggest value add you can make for partners is to find out what information they need, get them that information in as sort of small a packaging and as clearly and quickly as possible, and then leave. And that is absolutely what I found to be true as well. So just sort of a word of warning and a word of wisdom.
On to new business. Suncorp, big-time energy conglomerate in Houston, is acquiring Min Enterprises, a clean tech play for $2.9 billion.
Whew, that's real money.
This deal could make or break our year.
One of the things about working in big law that feels exciting or seems really enticing are the sizes of the cases and deals that you're going to be working on. So in this clip, they're working on a $2.9 billion deal, and it's not uncommon to have cases and deals that are in the hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. And so one of the things about big law is being able to see the work that you're doing show up on the Wall Street Journal or in different legal blogs and things, and that is exciting. It makes you feel like you're sort of at the top of your industry and you're doing really important work, which I'm not discounting at all. But one of the flip sides to be aware of is that in a big law firm where these case and deal sizes are so huge, when you're a junior associate, you're going to be doing a lot less substantive work on those cases. And so from a litigation perspective, you could be doing a lot of document review, a lot of case research, a lot of written discovery. Whereas if you are working on smaller cases or deals in smaller law firms, mid-sized law firms, you could be taking depositions, making oral arguments in court, even meeting with clients a whole lot earlier. And you have that level of ownership and that level of responsibility a lot earlier on than you will in a big law firm that has a really, really structured hierarchy.
You're early.
You're early, you're on time. You're on time, you're late.
Punctuality is a virtue. I am.
Ted Lassiter. Hey,
Justin Coleman.
Justin, nice to see you. Listen, when you get a sec, could we get some Pellegrino brought up?
Of course. Justin, please call dining services and let them know.
Well, shoot.
Ingrid Yun. I'm the senior associate on the deal. It's great to meet you, Ted.
Ted Lassiter. No hard feelings, I hope. You just don't look a day over 18 to me. You folks are lucky that way, right? This is my general counsel. That's Mark Trainer.
This clip is incredibly insulting and absolutely hits home. So I personally have never been mistaken for a paralegal or a legal secretary just because I was a woman in a law firm, but that absolutely 100% still happens. And the thing that I remember in terms of the sexism that still exists in law firms, which tend to be more conservative institutions, is that there was a range from sort of passively demeaning to absolutely in your face. And so one of the things that I remember is being called sweetheart by a lot of older male attorneys. And I don't think that they meant anything by it. I don't think that they meant to be insulting, but it was incredibly demeaning. And being in a professional environment and being basically referred to as kind of their granddaughter or their young 3-year-old daughter or something like that was the vibe that I got from it. So it was definitely something that I let slide and never said anything about, but it absolutely affected me in the moment. And then the other sort of in-your-face sexism that I experienced was I was actually in a law firm interview, and I was told that I would play well with female jurors because I was pretty, but not too pretty. And I had no idea what to do with that. I didn't say anything. I never brought it up again. And I don't know that I have any real words of wisdom other than if you feel confident saying something in the moment or talking to that person afterwards about their comment, definitely do that. But also don't feel badly if it takes you a few years to really feel like you have grounding at that firm and a really sort of solid stance where you feel safe enough to call out comments like that that are critical or disrespectful. So those are my part 2 partner track takeaways. And of course, if you guys want to connect with people who have boots on the ground going through this stuff in real time, then definitely check out the Free Law School Network Facebook group. It has over 3,000 pre-law students and law students who are literally having these summer associateships and these junior associateships in big law firms across the country. And they're great people to connect with, grow your network, and ask the questions that you can't really get answers to anywhere else. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.